Okay guys, and welcome to my Twitch and YouTube channel. As you see here today, I will walk over a few things for the monk and the setup I have for both soloing and boosting people. Let's go over the soloing first. So, of course I have some nice items, that makes sense. So what we want to have here is 6 pieces of Innes, because we don't need to use the Royal Ring of Grandeur, which helps a lot. You want to have critical hit chance, critical hit strike and stuff like that, and because we use Ingium, we don't need that much cooldown at all. We can skip most of it. Then we run with the focus and restraints. We like as much attack speed as we can get because it increases the damage from our followers. So more speed for them means more damage for you. So what do we get more speed from? We use the Flying Dragon as an increased double up at the attack speed for the followers. We want to use the crudest boots because they increase the damage of them and always give us another one. So this one keeps us really on the toes of more damage. Then we can go with the Covent of Elements with 200%, which is really nice. The other hand, we also want to swale into a Frenzy, which again gives us more attack speed, which means more damage. We're going with the blue gems on hardcore because the more resistant we have, the better chance of not getting one shot. In the head, you can choose to go with the reduce skills, or you can go with the purple one that gives you more survivability. Then we want to go with the shoulders here to get the Cyclone Strike to reduce the damage we take, and we use Cyclone Strike quite a lot to keep them being pulled in and instant killed by our minions. So what else do we need? We need to have the Mystic Allies on the shoulders. You can get up to 15%, so the higher the better. The other piece you need it on is on the chest. You also need it here. Mostly don't forget to have dexterity on all of your gear, and some health does keep you alive. As you can see in Paragons, you can use a bit of Paragons in here. Try to be as close to 1 million on hardcore as you can. It will keep you alive. We also go with this lovely necklace here. You want to have these 3 things on it. The more cold damage, the more cold damage your minions do, as they are water. So a lot of damage, crit, cold is the absolute best to hit. If you cannot get that, at least get crit, and dexterity. So you need the Bane of Trapped, you need the Bane of Stricken, and you need the Enforcer. The Enforcer is the main gem because it increases straight up your pets. Your followers are called pets, so they are a big increase here. So as the rest of it goes, like the belt here gets as much as toughness as you can get. Don't forget, when you have a character that uses dexterity as main stat, dexterity gives you armor. So if we look at dexterity here, we get a lot of toughness by armor because of the dexterity. But because we only have 77 intelligence, we only get 7.7 resistance. So we are so squeezy to anything that hits with resistance. This is why we use the blue gems and why we try to get all resist on the gear. You can only get all resist on the gear if the secondary do not have a resistant. If the secondary have resistant, you cannot get all resist on that piece of gear. So for example here, you see my secondary has physical resistance, which means the gear can only get like armor or some more health or stuff like that. Also, if you have movement speed on some of your gear, you can maximum have movement speed by 25%. So example, if you got 12% on your boots, you can only use 13% here because that gives you 25%. So don't overspend on your Paragons if you have some on your gear. To the skills and why. Again, we want to hit them as fast as possible, and we want to increase the damage that our pet does. So this helps us with killing bosses. Way of the 100 Fist with as a... Oh, I hate that word. assimilation. Let's call it that. And then we have, I use this on my left click, and I use this one on my right click. So Cyclone Strike is kind of your main because it also increased the damage because of your bracelets. So I didn't get anything better, that's why it's kind of shit. It's okay, but it's not perfect. Like, it's okay to have life per hit, but I should probably have some vitality, but as I have a lot of paragons, I can make up for it. You want to have it as close to 200 as you can. Enemy hit by a Cyclone Strike takes increased damage from your Mystic allies for 5 seconds. So if you use this every 5 seconds, you get it up. Split fire allies get 3 times this bonus. Yeah, but we don't use fire, so we don't care. Again, restraint and focus, increase your damage, and also get you a lot of resource generation and everything. So that is the gear. Back in here, I use on hardcore Ascension on Serenity because that gives you an immune to all damage for 4 seconds. And that is kind of nice not to be able to die for that. And as we have Indium, we can almost spam it. Epiphany with Desert Shout give us a lot of more toughness, which is kind of nice. When you click on some target, you get instant teleported to them as long as this is up. Every time you kill an elite, you can instant teleport and use this, which just means you crazy one through. Then we have the Mystic Ally. As I said, we use water because they get into these waves. Woo, woo, woo. And then they just kill everything. That's kind of nice. So I have that on 3 because you actually just use it when you can. So 1, 2, 3, you just smash down and easy go. On my mouse button number 5, it means I have it on the side of my mouse button, which makes it easy for me to cast a Dashing Strike a lot. You can, if you don't use this option, you can put your Dashing Strike on right click and then just smash your Cyclone Strike on number 4 or whatever you like. So again, this is built for hardcore. You want to have near-death experiments because you don't want to die. Unity is here to actually give you all the mantras. You will now see why, because in Ines gear, the first one gives us the effect of your Mystic Ally and the base effect of your mantra. So here we get all the mantras at all time, which means we have all of them. So of course we want a skill that buff them a bit more. And this buff also goes to the minions, which buff them as well, more damage. So we want to hit them as hard as we can as long as they are in high level because it increases their attack speed for 4 seconds, which means they'll go crazy. And because we want as high elemental resist as we can get, we're using Harmony. This is the build and the guide for my monk, and I hope you enjoy it. For a little more specific about how I go solo with this, I will show you my follower. I use 2 pieces of canes to get extra keys when I run solo rifts, and I use 2 pieces of sage to get double death breath. Right now I don't need that, I have over 5,000 or something. Let's see here, death breath 8,000, so I have quite a lot. But we want to use the Royal Ring of Grandeur to get 3 pieces on both. We want to use Oculus Ring to get that crater on the ground, so we get 85%. We want to use as many green gems as we can to give him more dexterity. We want to make sure all the gear has dexterity. The rest of the skills, like critical and stuff, doesn't work. It doesn't matter. So this one, why do we use that? You can go with this on your follower without a gem in it, because it doesn't matter if he has a gem in, it compares to what gem you have in. It estimates, which means it's not what he uses, it's what you use. Again, you can use different kind of shoulders. There is these ones or the other ones where you can make a portal and take less damage, which is kind of nice. To keep him alive, you want to give him exotic alteration. And you want to give him the Molten Wildebeest. These are the only ones that works on him, which means he get a lot of toughness. This keeps him alive. And then you can use this one, gain access to all skills at all time, which means he can keep you alive and boost you a lot. So what do we find out they have? You can hold down control and see what all the skill does. You can keep on any character you want. If you use the Enchantress, you just want to make sure she gets a lot more intellect than the others. If you want to use for toughness, then you go with the Templar. Again, he needs strength instead. And he has a lot of toughness you can use instead of damage. These are the setups that can help you a lot. Now let's go over to a farming build that can be quite fast and effective if you play with others. Because some of these pieces here is not gonna help you with the pylons and stuff like that. So what do you do when you play with others? I go with the XP gem because when you do 90s or lower, it's just nice to get some more XP, and it also helps your group. For the next thing, you just want to have some damage. Here you go with the boots yourself. And that is kind of the big thing here, because now that you only have 5 pieces, you need the Royal Ring of Grandeur, and now you can go with Nemesis bracelets. So you have these bracelets and these one and the boots. So the only thing you move is actually Innes over to the Crutus and then the Nemesis. Now you can take all the pylons, you can get more things, the more elites you kill, because of Ingium, the faster you get. So this is a way to play with others and also boost people if you need to. This is what it is. I hope you enjoyed. This is the Zulus out, and this is the way.